Mark Camoccio, Mart TV. We're going to show you here one of the Webley range, which is the Webley Typhoon, and it's a fairly traditional sort of spring piston brake barrel pistol. And obviously Typhoon is a name from the old Webley archives. It was a pistol going back to sort of 60s, 70s. It doesn't really bear much resemblance to that other than the sort of basic layout, but you do get cocking aid as such, and although the cocking effort on this is fairly minimal, it really does help. It makes it very easy, and obviously it does sort of slightly improve, I think, the visuals as well. You just slide that on. It's not quite tight enough, so I do find that it slightly moves as you fire it, so you sort of on each shot you need to just push it back slightly, which is a little bit irritating, but other than that, this is quite a neat pistol. So yeah, traditional spring piston style. Starting at the front, you've got open sights. What's neat about that is it's obviously that's often a cause if you're going to be cocking, you're really just going to cock it there, use it there, but you might, that's an area where you can knock, and that's sort of open. Sometimes they're hooded, but you can easily knock that. But on this, it's actually spring loaded, which is just a simple but clever idea. So you're unlikely to damage that, which is great. Just attention to detail. Obviously, you've got a moving breech system here, and on any brake barrel, it's always the Achilles heel as such. Over time, you know, most will be fine, but if you're sort of serious about your shooting, over time the breech jaws can wear, and that can be a cause of inaccuracy. If you notice there, they've got a tensioning screw, so you can tighten the breech jaws when necessary, but there's also a keeper screw, which is, you know, quite neat, and that is attention to detail on sort of this grade of pistol. As you can see, marked on the piston, it's saying power lock. Of course, that goes back to the Venom custom shop days when they consulted with and were part of the sort of Webley setup, and that's a special mainspring that's now used for these. You've got open sights. You've got an adjustable rear sight with finger wheels there, so you've got proper adjustment and you can see where you've adjusted it to, so that's all quite neat. Synthetic all-in-one stock. Quite a nice grip. You've got contour grip there, but for me, again, it just feels about right to me. It's good. You've got a fairly simple trigger here, but it is quite a totally acceptable action. It's no, you know, I always go back to my original Webley rifle that I had years ago, and it had a bad name for the pull required. There's no problem like that on here. Obviously, we're dealing in pistol power range, so 6 foot-pound is your maximum. With this, on test, I've had about 2.7, 2.8 foot-pounds, so reasonable power, but obviously it's a pistol, so we're talking fun. You've got a manual safety catch there, and you see it flags red, so you know when it's live, but it's just going to sit there. You can ignore it if you want, but you've got it if you need to, and it's a cross-bolt style, so anytime you can just press it off. That's great. And you have got dovetails here, and I've tested this with open sights, and we'll show you the groups. And it's been pretty reasonable out to 10 yards. I've had some quite nice groups. But if you really want to push it to the limit, you can put some sort of small sight on there, and obviously you've got to watch that you don't foul the moving breech as you would with any brake barrel. But you can put red dots are sort of ideal and great fun, or you can get very small pistol scopes. But you've got a lot of scope with this. And yeah, it's just a great little general purpose pistol. So we'll just put a few shots down the line. That's very easy to cock that system, and with such a short barrel, you know, they can be quite hard work sometimes, but obviously the cocking aid really helps. Push your pellet all the way in, make sure that's flush, back up, and we'll just fire. One slight negative is that on a lot of these spring pistons now, they're giving fibre optic sights, and they're obviously you get little markers and coloured markers and coloured elements on the sight. It's all black here, so for someone like me with slightly failing eyesight now, it's a little bit just a little bit harder to sight it, but no big deal. And as I say, probably out to 10 yards is what most of these are going to be used at, and it's still a nice good crisp sight picture. But yeah, very slick. There's no twang to that, as I hope you could pick up. So a pretty slick action. You've got an articulated cocking link. It's well produced, you know. That's sort of it's an air gun that sort of does what it says on the tin, but it's a good little solid break barrel pistol, and yeah, I've enjoyed shooting this one. So that's the Webley Typhoon.